Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most beloved Italian desserts of all time, tiramisu. The name itself means pick me up in Italian, and once you taste it, you'll totally get why. Picture this: layers of coffee-soaked ladyfingers, creamy mascarpone, and a dusting of cocoa on top. It's this gorgeous, no-bake dessert that looks super impressive, but is surprisingly easy to whip up at home. Seriously, it's like a little piece of heaven on a plate. We're going to walk through everything, from the essential ingredients to the step-by-step process, so you can create a perfect, crowd-pleasing tiramisu that will have everyone asking for your secret. Trust me, once you master this classic, it'll become a staple for every family gathering, special occasion, or even just a decadent weeknight treat. So, grab your apron, and let's get started on this journey to dessert heaven. First things first, let's talk about what makes a truly authentic tiramisu. It's all about the quality of the ingredients. There are 6 core components that create that signature flavor and texture. At the heart of it all, we have ladyfingers, or, as they're known in Italy, savoiardi. These aren't your average soft sponge cookies. They're dry, porous, and almost biscuit-like. This is crucial because they need to soak up our coffee mixture without turning into a pile of mush. They provide the structure for our dessert, creating those beautiful, distinct layers. You can find them in the international aisle of most grocery stores. Next up, the star of the cream layer, mascarpone cheese. This is a soft, high-fat Italian cream cheese. It's incredibly rich, smooth, and has a mild, slightly sweet flavor that's completely unique. It's what gives tiramisu its luxurious, velvety texture. The star of a real Italian tiramisu is definitely mascarpone. This cheese is super rich and creamy, with just the right hint of sweetness. It's what gives that dreamy texture to the dessert's filling, making every bite absolutely delicious. Cream cheese is the go-to substitute since it's easy to find and has a similar texture. Just a heads up, though it's a bit tangier than mascarpone, so it'll change the dessert's flavor a little. You could also try ricotta or cream flaky, but they need some tweaking to match the texture and creaminess. If you're feeling adventurous, making homemade mascarpone is super simple. Just heat some heavy cream, add a splash of lemon juice, and let it thicken. Easy peasy. Please don't be tempted to substitute this with regular cream cheese. The flavor and consistency just won't be the same. Mascarpone is what makes tiramisu, well, tiramisu. Then we have eggs. Traditionally, both the yolks and whites are used. The yolks are whisked with sugar to create a rich, custard-like base for our cream. They add color, flavor, and stability. The egg whites are often whipped separately into stiff peaks and then folded into the mascarpone mixture. This is the secret to getting a light, airy, almost mousse-like consistency. It makes the cream feel decadent without being overly heavy. Some modern recipes use whipped heavy cream instead of egg whites, which also works, but the traditional method with egg whites gives it a classic, cloud-like texture. Of course, we can't forget the sugar. It sweetens the cream mixture and helps stabilize the egg yolks as we whisk them. You can also add a little to your coffee mixture if you prefer it less bitter, but I personally like the contrast. And speaking of coffee, you'll need strong brewed coffee or, even better, espresso. The quality of your coffee really matters here because it's a dominant flavor. Make sure it's completely cooled before you start dipping your ladyfingers. Hot coffee will make them disintegrate instantly. Finally, the finishing touch, unsweetened cocoa powder. A generous dusting over the top provides a beautiful contrast in color and a slight bitterness that perfectly balances the sweetness of the cream. It is the first thing you taste, and it sets the stage for all the deliciousness to come. Now, a quick word on an optional, but very popular addition, alcohol. Many traditional recipes call for a splash of Marsala wine, a fortified wine from Sicily. It adds a complex, slightly nutty flavor that complements the coffee beautifully. Dark rum or a coffee liqueur like Collia are also fantastic options. You just stir a little bit into your cold coffee mixture before dipping the ladyfingers. It adds an extra layer of warmth and depth. If you're making this for a family with kids or prefer to keep it alcohol-free, you can absolutely leave it out. A non-alcoholic tiramisu is just as delicious and classic. Alright, now that we've covered our ingredients, let's get into the fun part, the assembly. This dessert is all about layering. First, you'll need a serving dish, a 9 by 13-inch pan, a glass trifle bowl, or even individual glasses work great. Our first step is to prepare the coffee mixture. Brew your espresso or strong coffee and let it cool down to room temperature. This is a non-negotiable step. Once it's cool, pour it into a shallow dish that's wide enough to fit a ladyfinger. If you're using alcohol, now's the time to stir it in. Next, we make the glorious cream. This is where the magic happens. Start by separating your eggs. Put the yolks in a large bowl with the sugar. Using an electric mixer or a whisk and some serious arm power, beat the yolks and sugar together until the mixture becomes thick, pale yellow, and ribbony. This means when you lift the beater, the mixture falls back in a thick ribbon that holds its shape for a moment. This process incorporates air and dissolves the sugar, creating a smooth base. Once your yolks are ready, it's time to add the mascarpone. Add it to the yolk mixture and beat on a low speed until it is just combined and smooth. Be very careful not to overmix here. Mascarpone can split or become grainy if you beat it too aggressively. You just want to mix until there are no lumps and the cream is uniform. Now for the egg whites. In a separate, scrupulously clean bowl, whisk the egg whites until they form stiff peaks. This means when you lift the whisk, the peak holds its shape and doesn't flop over. The key to perfect egg whites is a clean bowl with no traces of fat or oil. Now, gently fold the whipped egg whites into the mascarpone mixture. Use a spatula and a light hand. The goal is to incorporate the whites without deflating all the air you just whipped into them. Fold in about a third of the whites first to lighten the mascarpone base. Then gently fold in the rest. The final cream should be light, airy, and luscious. Okay, our components are ready. It's time to assemble our masterpiece. This part moves quickly, so have everything laid out and ready to go. Take one ladyfinger at a time and quickly dip it into the cold coffee mixture. I mean quickly 1 or 2 seconds per side is all you need. You want it to absorb some coffee flavor, but not become a soggy mess. Remember, the ladyfingers will continue to soften as the dessert chills. Arrange the dipped ladyfingers in a single, snug layer at the bottom of your serving dish. Break some in half if you need to, to fill in any gaps. Once you have your first layer of cookies, spread half of the mascarpone cream mixture evenly over the top. Use an offset spatula to get a nice, smooth surface. Now, we repeat the process. Dip the remaining ladyfingers in the coffee and arrange them in a second layer on top of the cream. Then, top that with the rest of the mascarpone mixture, spreading it evenly to cover everything. You should have a beautiful, smooth white canvas on top. And now, for the hardest part of the entire recipe, waiting. Cover the dish with plastic wrap and refrigerate it for at least 4 to 6 hours. But honestly, for the best results, let it chill overnight. This time in the fridge is crucial. It allows the ladyfingers to soften to the perfect cake-like consistency and gives all the flavors a chance to melt and marry into something truly special. The dessert will firm up. The coffee flavor will infuse everything, and the texture will become absolutely divine. Don't rush this step. Just before you're ready to serve, take the tiramisu out of the fridge. For that classic, professional look, generously dust the top with unsweetened cocoa powder. Use a fine mesh sieve for a nice, even coating. This final touch not only looks beautiful, but adds that signature bittersweet chocolate note that cuts through the richness of the cream. And there you have it, a perfect, homemade tiramisu. When you slice into it, you'll see those gorgeous, distinct layers of coffee-soaked ladyfingers and creamy mascarpone. Each bite is a perfect harmony of flavors and textures: the rich cream, the bold coffee, the light bitterness of cocoa, all in one soft, moist, and utterly delicious spoonful. What I love about this dessert is its versatility. You can serve it in a big dish for a family-style gathering, or you can make individual portions in glasses or ramekins for a more elegant dinner party. It's a make-ahead dream, which is perfect for busy parents or anyone planning a party. In fact, it tastes even better the next day. So it takes all the stress out of last-minute dessert prep. This recipe really is a family favorite for a reason. It's simple in the best way possible, letting high-quality ingredients speak for themselves. The creamy richness, the comforting coffee aroma, and the soft, moist texture just hit all the right notes. It feels special and indulgent without being overly complicated. Even picky eaters tend to love this one. It's a reliable, crowd-pleasing dessert that never fails to impress. Italy's dessert scene is a total delight, especially when it comes to regional variations of tiramisu. In Veneto, where it all started, the classic recipe of La Bakery sticks to just 6 simple ingredients: ladyfingers, mascarpone, egg yolks, sugar, espresso, and cocoa. Over in Friuli Venezia Giulia, they whip egg whites into the mascarpone for a fluffier texture. Sicily adds a zesty twist with citrus flavors like orange or lemon zest, while Calabria loves to splash in local liqueurs like amaretto for a unique kick. And in central Italy, some folks soak their ladyfingers in Vinsanto, giving it a nutty caramel vibe. How delicious does that sound? If you enjoyed this, share it and subscribe.